was told to really go inside very deeply, and I just heard, you've been neglecting your heart's desires. And, as a person on a spiritual path, you're always having to watch that line about not getting overly involved in your desires, right? But it was like, no, you have to attend to your heart's desires too. And what does my heart desire? It desires intimacy and connection. So I made this commitment in that time, and I'm staying with it so far. It's my work world is kind of coming back alive and roaring around, but I said, I can only move at the pace of relationship now. And that's a very different pace than I was moving in before. What is the recipe for creating the circumstance for this grace and divinity to arrive? So there was leadership, but really the companioning was also from the whole community involved, and watching how people gave things away to each other. So there's certain, I guess we'll say, paraphernalias that are good to have. So like feathers and such, or a drum, or certain herbs. And so to just really watch how those relationships would grow from those acts of generosity to each other, I thought of you, and I have this feather for you, and I cleaned it, and I beaded it, and I took care of it, and I want to give it to you, and just to really watch that tenderness arising. So yeah, I feel like it's a place that allows people to come into all new possibilities, when they can leave that rational place. And like, again, I provide the evidence for why it makes sense to do that. I say, if sustainability is the highest and most sought after technology on the planet, who should we be talking to? We should be talking to those peoples who've known how to live in one place over an extended period of time, 1,000 years, 5,000 years, 10,000 years, 20,000 years, in relative health, harmony, and happiness. And we call those people Indigenous people. And one of the hallmarks of Indigenous peoples is that they had a very broad spectrum of ways of knowing. They in fact, my elders say the intellect is the least reliable way of knowing anything. So we have song, and that's a way of knowing. We have dance, that's a way of knowing. And that's how we were able to have a relationship to place such that we could be a part of its thriving, that we could augment abundance really indefinitely and never deplete the place that we were living. And that really required these other ways of knowing.